we're going to figure this turbo out. Where's everybody at? It's got me dumbfounded, and everybody's got some really good ideas about how that metal got into there. Hey, Bob. Lisa's got some good points going on, but it couldn't have gone through the charge air cooler. Roll call, who's in here? There was a few other people in here. Gotta get Lisa in here, because he's got some pretty good theories about what's going on with this turbo. And all right, ding ding. Popped up on my phone. Appreciate it. This has got me dumbfounded. I'm just curious. I can't tear into it right now until I get the new engine and stuff, but Lisa had some pretty good ideas, and we're going to go through how it's routed, I guess you could say. How could something get in there? I got a song stuck in my head. Doesn't it got you like scratching your head? Like, how did that get in there? $28 an hour in the parts department? That's really good. That's really good for a parts department. Anybody got Lisa's phone number? Call him. I don't have his number in my phone. It probably is in my phone, but on my call list somewhere. What dealership did he go to? Hey, everybody that's rolling in here. This is going to be an interesting one. We're going to figure this out. It is a tough case, now that I can see everybody on live chat here. I'm a bit busy on the mower checking out the PTO clutch. Nice. Gerald, Hyundai, and Ford in North Aurora. Cool. Hey, Liddy. Hey, everybody. Lisa, like, you got some pretty good ideas going on, but let me turn the camera around so you can see how this is set up. Sorry, my camera button's right on the camera. Charge air coolers right there. The radiator is right here. So the air comes in through here. Hey, Chris. Sweet. Air comes in through here, goes down through the air filter, through this tube, down, connects to this. Kind of hard to see, black piece. This black piece goes down and circles around to the turbo. The air is then compressed, goes up through here, this tube. See if I can get down in here. This tube, the big one, into the charge air cooler. So basically, it's running through the charge air cooler this way, comes out here, goes into the throttle body. Throttle body goes into the intake. Cylinder 4 is back here. So obviously you see the radiator right there. That when the fan clutch came off, it just hit the radiator and it broke the shroud. You might be able to see through here. Charge air cooler is underneath here. So charge air cooler, radiator, fan. So that's the way the airflow goes. In, down, back up, down, across, in, that way. No, because the radiator sits in front of it, or behind it. Charge air cooler, radiator, fan. And then right here, where this tube is, just above this, right up underneath this plastic piece, is the turbo boost pressure sensor. So, but the code that it was giving me, the 299, is for turbo under boost. And the first thing you check is this, which actuates the arm for the wastegate. Like it's not sealing, but we check that. You step on the throttle, you can see it move back and forth. So there's no way for something on this side of the turbo, like the impeller, the compressor fin, to come up through this tube and make it through the charge air cooler, then through the intake, or into the throttle body, into the intake. That's what's confusing me. It does look like a piece of the impeller, but I don't know where it would have come from. It may be a piece, no, because the valve wasn't broken, it was just hung open. That I don't know. I don't know how hot it got. The only other thing over there is a coolant tube on the turbo and then an oil feed line. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. But that's not even on the intake side. That's on the exhaust side. Yeah. Right there. That's, I think that one's the oil feed tube over here. Yeah, this is the coolant feed tube. Looks like. Or that might be one of those two. I don't remember which one it is. That one's either, I think that one's the coolant, because this is a coolant pipe right here. And then this one's the oil feed. But still, if it broke off, you can see where that charged air cooler pipe hooks up. It's on top. So it couldn't have went. This is the pop off. Which you can see goes back into the airbox. So when it builds up pressure and it pops off, this valve right here sends it back into the airbox, goes back into this tube, back down for the whole cycle to begin again. So if it is a piece of the turbo, how did it get back there in number 4? Obviously it didn't come this way. There's 36,973 exact miles on that truck, and I remember this number. Which clutch could have broke through the hose and got stuck into cylinder 4? Which clutch are you talking about? And Lisa, I mean, like, you're onto something, but the charged air cooler's got little fins in it, just like a radiator for the air to go through. The fan couldn't have damaged it, because if it did, when I put everything back together the first time, I would have had a major boost leak at that point. I would have had no power. I wouldn't have been able to, I drove that thing like 40 miles, 37 miles, and it was running great. So this happened a week. Yeah, a week after everything was put back together. That's why we test drive vehicles, Chris. I know you asked that question one time. That's why we test drive, because if something's going to go wrong, it better go wrong while you're doing it. EGR bypass? I think so. Sorry, I know I keep putting my finger in front of it. Oh, let's see. There's the EGR. And it's a tube. There's an EGR tube on the back, and it runs to the very back here. Very possible. It's just so confused on this. I mean, it's getting a new engine anyway, but I want to know what broke. That's what I want to know. Like, it's getting a new engine, it's going to get fixed. It's going to get a new turbo, new intake, new engine. But I want to know what broke and where it broke. It's things like this that bother me. It's like, obviously, it's nothing that I did. No, it doesn't have the variable runner. You're talking about like the Mustangs and the F-150s have? No, there's no motors on here, nothing. Intake manifold runner control, IMRC. There's a small possibility since the air gets recirculated, just bad timing when it opened up. Possible. Are you able to post mortem the engine, as in remove the head to see what is holding the valve open? They may let me do that. They may have me open it so I can send pictures for failure point, but obviously we know it's failed already. When I get the new engine and get the other one out, that'll be the time where I get the approval to tear it down, or if they're just going to have me send it to them whole and they tear it down. But Jonathan, that is possible. It could have been something in the EGR, maybe something in the EGR, like the valve, the little needle or whatever in there. I mean, it's a pretty thick piece of metal though. Got sucked into the tube. It's possible because it goes around. It goes around the back side. You probably can't see it from back here, but yeah, back there, that silver tube. Yeah, see, you can see where the charged air cooler pipe comes out. The radiator is right here, and then the condenser, then the charged air cooler. So there's actually a condenser in between that, leaser. Yes, your mind being broke counts. Yeah, there is no possible way for it to go through the cap. The charge air cooler. There ain't no way. Because it has little fins like that. Throttle body. The only thing inside the throttle body is just throttle blade, which is inside right here. It just opens and closes to let air in. It's still there. So it's really, really confusing. Well, not really confusing. It's mind-boggling, I guess you could say. Like, how did a foreign piece of debris get to somewhere where it ain't supposed to be? And every route that you look at, it's basically impossible for it to go that route without tearing something else up. So, if I get a chance tomorrow, I'm gonna pull a bore scope out again and then go pull that spark plug, do it in the parking lot on my lunch break or something, and see if that may be a piece of the piston. Well, not on the inside. It's all smooth on the inside. It's just It's just a hollow piece with the throttle blade. And then it has a little motor on the side of it that turns that throttle blade. So these are all really good theories, and well, I don't want to say anything's impossible. I mean, maybe something did just squirrel its way through there. I don't know. But without damaging anything, that's the part about being a technician. It's like when they want a fail point, it's like, okay, well, there's foreign debris inside the combustion chamber. Well, how did it get there? I don't know. Apparently it took the shortest route possible. And I guarantee you, once I get that engine out, I'll be able to see. Because I'm going to have to pull the turbo off of it anyway. I got to pull a whole bunch of stuff out of the way to get the engine out. It's getting a new turbo. Yeah, and then when we stuck the bore scope down in there, one of the senior masters was kind of moving it around too, and he was like, whoa, and he went back and looked, and it looked a piece about that big. It looked like a piece of it was missing. And it was right up along the cylinder wall. Yeah, it's true, Bob. One small thing can destroy an engine. So I'm really interested to know. It's like I can't wait for the new engine to come in so I can start tearing this other one out and look. And then show you guys in video like, okay, it was a piece of the turbo, but I still don't know how it got in there. I don't know what route it took. Or it's a piece of the EGR or something, I don't know. Definitely going to keep you guys updated on that. This is an interesting case I have here. I've never incurred a problem like this. I mean, as a technician, you come across some crazy things and you always figure it out. But I've never come across something like this. I've never come across something that got into a combustion chamber and you don't know how it got there. This will be one for the record books. So let's kind of recap of where the airflow goes. And then I'm gonna head inside, get some din din, I'm hungry. Yeah, this is one for Ripley's, man. All right, so remember, air comes in. See? Air goes in, travels down to the bottom of the airbox, goes up through the air filter, which I can probably kind of make this a little more interesting. See where it comes in. Goes up through. There's the mass airflow sensor. That's the mass airflow sensor that you just saw on the inside. Goes through this tube, goes down to this box right here, turns, goes into the bottom of the turbo, which is, you can't see it on that side. Comes up, goes up into here. Here's the wastegate, basically a pop-off purge valve. When it pops off, it goes through this hose back down in to the airbox, and the cycle starts over. When it goes past, it goes down below that radiator hose. You can see it over here, down there. runs long into the charge air cooler, which is about right here. Comes out, goes into the throttle body, into the intake. Yeah, cast iron. So this is gonna be one for the believe it or not, the Ripley's, the Guinness Book of World Records or something. Because if a piece of debris did go this way and not damage anything, if it went this way, I'm definitely taking pictures and sending it to Ripley's. But if it was part of the EGR and it went back that way and got sucked into number 4, because that pipe back there is actually closer to number 4. Yeah, I don't have any daylight. It's dark. Air filter's not too dirty. So that's cooking chicken on my air fryer. What did that sensor on the air filter box be the intake air temp sensor? This one? Yeah, you are correct. I'm sorry. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. Intake air temp sensor. Yes, it's the intake air temp sensor. You can't really see any other hoses. That's basically the whole setup of the airflow. So, you got me. That's a motorcraft. 4/17/19. Not too bad. I'll probably get a new one soon though. All right, Chris, I'm coming to your house for dinner. So, and then obviously you have the purge valve, which is purging gas vapors. Comes out, goes this way, down there, goes into the intake. So, I don't know what it could be. Unless something in the camshafts or something. But then it wouldn't be able to fall down to the valve because there's a spring there. Believe it or not, K&N filters have a lot of silica. They let a lot of sand in. They do let it breathe better, but when you let more air in, you need more fuel, so they're not very fuel efficient. These engines are actually tuned and everything for these air filters, so they actually run better with these. With a factory air filter. I think the next best air filter that you could possibly get close to factory would be like a Purelator or STP. But these engines are designed to run with these, and those oil bath filters, man, they do get a lot of silica and they get all that oil and stuff inside of them, and it will actually kick up inside here. Yeah. You talking about the silica? Wix filters are good. Fram air filters are really good. Basically anything that's not a oil bath filter. And when I say oil bath filter, it's a filter that has oil on it to catch dirt. Yeah. I mean, these things 15, 20 bucks compared to a 50, 60, $70 K&N filter. Yep, you're right, Chris. But if you want to do the test, you run both of them together, you actually get better fuel mileage with the factory one. You're not going to go throw a K&N into your airbox and automatically gain 5 horsepower. You're not going to tell the difference. That's what people think. Oh, I got a K&N. That's 5 horsepower I just added to my airbox. No, it don't work that way. I need to clean this. It's dirty. See the coolant purging. It's still warm. Yeah, avoid K&Ns. They don't. They'll throw them in there and think it's a lifetime filter. And they get all dirty and clogged up just like everything else. And then the people that do service them, they'll pull them out, wash them off, and then cake it with oil, over oil it, and it gets sucked into the intake. Yeah, paper element. There's nothing wrong with a paper element filter. Apparently this is the filter that came in the truck. I never changed it. It's not dirty. It's got the date on it. My truck's a 19, so this one was put in April 17th of 2019, and that's exactly when my truck was built. So you guys keep pondering what's going on. What do you think it is that's in there? Post them in the comments, because I'm still trying to figure out what's in there too. And I'm gonna get with the senior master tech tomorrow, kind of, because he's kind of mind boggled as well. He hasn't seen anything like it either. So yeah, it gets nasty, dude. And they also mess up mass airflow sensors and ambient temp sensors, or intake air temp sensors. Shit. So you guys let me know what you think is going on. He did. Project Farm actually does a lot of really cool videos. He put some stuff to the test. Yeah, K&Ns, like you can actually pull them out of the airbox and you can look in there and you can still see like dirt and dust debris that got through it. And it pulled some of that oil up with it, and it like Chris said, it sticks to the tubing. But once that dries, then all that stuff's going directly into your engine. But I gotta go inside and get something to eat. Yeah, Rich did show that. See, you guys listen. You guys listen to me, Rich. That's good. That means we don't have to see you at the dealership to get major engine work done. We can see you when you just come say hi or get maintenance done. Hey, Trouble, you missed it. But I want to know what you guys think it is. Keep your minds turning. If you see daylight through it, then dust can go through it. This is true. Unless you're heavily sponsored by a racing company and you need the extra horsepower. 4 horsepower from a filter, it don't work that way. Yeah, it's mind-boggling. I was driving earlier, and my wife was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm still thinking about cylinder number 4." Because I texted her this morning when I was at the parts counter, getting the parts list that was like 15 pages long, and I told her what had happened. You know, today's our anniversary, actual anniversary. Um, Last week we did something, but today's our actual anniversary. But she was like, "Oh, you're still thinking about that?" I was like, "Yeah, man, since like 9 o'clock this morning." Thank you, thank you. 14 years, man. 14 years. So, all you guys, put your heads together. Leave them in the comments. What piece of metal do you think it came from? How do you think it got there? I want to see what you guys think it is. I want to see your theories. I mean, everybody's on to something. It's just I showed you how the air is routed from the turbo. Not mine. Go back and watch my other video that I posted. Trouble. I'm just using mine as reference to show you how it's routed. I'm gonna be scratching my head tomorrow morning too. So I mean, some of the parts are on back order, so I don't know how long it's gonna be before I get them. But the more information I get, the more I find out what it is, I will definitely keep you guys posted on that. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. I love all of you guys. Thank you so much. So let's get those mind gears turning. Let's see what it is, okay? You have a good night too, James. Night, everybody.